Hello, welcome all to the stream. Welcome to the VOD viewers. The usual. Hoping it's been a good day. If not, we're gonna change that. It is some Division 2 action. Myself filling in for Max while he works his way through personal issues, which I have been plagued with myself in recent months, which forced me to back out for half a season. So hopefully we get to see the absolute legend back with you for Division 2, but for now I'll be covering happily because I mean, come on, it's Div 2 and HRA. This was my bread and butter. So I'm glad that I get to come back, see how my baby's been doing. Welcome all. Welcome. I'm just gonna be pinging the stream momentarily. Give me just a second, just to sort everything out. This is extremely scuffed. I've got no notes, no screenshots. I know A5 won the last race, and that's about it. Driver lineup, some of it on. So let me just ping the stream. Alright, just getting everything sorted. I am in spectator mode, yes. Alright, let's get the stream loaded up on the phone. While that's going on, I'm going to run some notes quickly onto the laptop. Hello. Got a few people joining now. Alright, yes, to those joining, apologies for the quick bit of quiet here. I genuinely have no notes for this, which I never used to do, but I think it adds to it, being able to rattle off the driver's standings off the top of your head. Stuff like that, constructors, penalties for the previous race, just to see who's been naughty. Alright, just Matty. Got a lot of familiar names in here. Edvir, Rogniko, Andreas. Jackie's a new one. A5, Mendel, Hawash, Tomboy, Skippy, Piastri, Hammer, Hughes. There's so many names that I very familiar with. Raven, of course, will be back in here. He bottled a possible win last time out, so he'll be looking to better that performance. Got some people wanting to jump in, and also if you're trying to talk to me at all in Div 2 general for some random reason, I still can't speak in Div 2 general, but I can see it, so I'll probably move it over to main chat the conversation. Just as a heads up for anyone who's messaging me through there. Alright. Do you know, we'll go noteless. Screw it. Back to the scuffed old days, eh? Yeah, those were the days, man. Alright, I now have chat open. Hello to everyone joining live. And to the one person watching this in 2 years' time on the YouTube VODs. Hello. How's it going? We out here vibing. So, Div 2 action. I wasn't really there for much of the last race, but looking at the results and skimming through the stream, I could tell you for a fact it was an absolutely glorious race and well commentated on by Max as well. Good to see we've now got a very strong team here. Because back in the days where it was just me, it was a struggle putting out Div 2 and Div 1 every week alongside working life and keeping organised, which I didn't, but ayo, we had a stream. Div 3 sort of been left out. I'm not sure what's going to go on there. I don't think Max did Div 3. I think that's Kusky and George off memory, but I might be completely wrong. If not, I might be able to interimly cover Div 3, but we'll see. I wouldn't be able to do it this weekend because I am going karting. Alright now, just waiting for people to get in, so chillax, grab yourself a hot cup of coffee or something. Oh, this late in the evening. Hot cup of tea. And just chill. Not really much I know about the race last time out, but I do know A5 took it. And he is on form this season, looking to take back-to-back wins. But he said to me that Spa isn't his nicest track, so we'll see. Might this be a chance for other drivers to nab some points off of the Red Bull man? Red Bull through and through. He is their team boss, as is Hammer's. Hammer, Mercedes team boss. So we've got Toto and Christian Horner driving on the same grid. Would you imagine in real life the static would be electric? Obviously, but it was a bad race last time out for Raven P8, but it looked to bounce back. 05 Stephen D, Husey, Piastri, Matty, Pintilta, Skippy, Raven, Yugs and Edvir are point scorers so far this season, but one round down. And this is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 round season. Quite a long one here. It was 8 last season, but this one 4 more to the good. With HRA, you kind of get the feeling and the promise that it'll be good. Seems like no one's tagging along yet. Let me just double check that I sent the message in going live. Yes, I did. Yeah, right now we're just waiting for things to kick off. Stuart backing Matty, the AlphaTauri man, yet to get points on the board. Got a 5-second time penalty after last race for a collision, I believe. He'll be looking to bounce back from that performance. Hello, A5. We chilling up in here. There we go. Mic is really quiet. All right. How about now? All good? Or is it still a little bit shady? If not, I can up it. Audio mic volume. How about that? A little bit higher up on the scale. I am being a bit quiet, to be fair. Because right now it's a bit of a chill period right now, just waiting for things to kick off. The calm before the storm, if you were. But we do have drivers readying up. Not sure if the signal's been given or not, but it looks like it. We may be about to get some racing action here in Division 2. Once again, as you know, I'm Apollo. I'm covering for Max here. We wish him the best in his tasks that he's completing away from HRA, and hopefully we get him back soon, because he is. I gotta say, at first I was bummed out I didn't get this division and didn't get to commentate on it, but then I skimmed through the stream the other day, seeing his performance. Mate, I think we might have a commentator better than me. That's good, you know. So hopefully we get him back. Of course, it's created a bit of chaos in the driver's space for Aston Martin in Div 1, but that's the least of concerns. For Aston Martin, they have the title fight to think about there. But here, already we've got a title fight. Oh, thanks. Alpine for the win as well. Yeah, I've as you can see from the scrollers, I've been using the mouse and keyboard, trying to sort of work on things a little bit, make everything a little more streamlined, less janky, less weird camera cuts. There we go, out the pits comes an Alpine Piastri. Going to be one of our first cars out on track. There he is then. Yeah, for me it's so weird not racing at all, with me sort of giving up the ghost on league racing, hanging up my gloves, and then my wheel dying a couple of weeks later. So there we go. That is my current issue I'm facing. The controller keeps disconnecting, so that I'm going to have to work on, but for now I'll just make sure it keeps getting scrolled. I do plan to get my gaming PC sorted out soon and start streaming through that, and providing a far higher quality. I'm going to get myself wired internet, because we've got fibre in the area. I'll buy a wired connection and connect it to the router and run it through the house and up the stairs, just for commentary, of course, because otherwise people will be tripping over wires left, right and centre. Alright, we've got a Red Bull who's taking the lead here, And who else? That A5. Yeah, I haven't done anything racing related for absolutely ages. It must have been when I last raced my go-kart in June. When I last went go-karting, and honestly, it's been tough times waiting. A5 backing off. Is he going to let this Ferrari pass? He's trying to. Ferrari, Fig, that'll be filing into order. The car just shot back past him. That is Piastri. No, it's not. It's a Williams of Edveer. But you can't escape. You can't escape it. We are going to be riding on board with A5 for this lap. Take it away, Mr. Red Bull man. Down towards turn 1, the La Source hairpin. Incredibly challenging first corner, one of the hot spots on the F1 game for lap 1 crashes. Extremely fast-paced section here. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there. Extremely fast-paced section. Up the hill. Down the humongous main straight. Beautiful through the section. There, very nice through that long hairpin as we head now in towards No Name. Was given a name as a tribute to a Belgian racer who said it will always be No Name as we head now into the very well-known Pouhon corner. Flex it into there, McLaren nice and out the way. It's clean so far as we head into the Piff Paff chicane. It's beautiful so far from the Red Bull man, just getting a time on the board here though. Seems to be the general consensus here. Mr. Christian Horner himself on a lap. The Red Bull team boss in his own car. My team vibes right now. He will want his team to be P1 in drivers and constructors at the end of the season and to be in the hot seat, the one to make that count. Edveer goes fastest. A5 goes faster. 1:43.002. Big 2 tenths off. Piastri right on the back of him. We have intense battles up and down the grid, it would seem, in this division. Mendel, poor first lap for him. Edveer up there as well. Oh, not a poor first. Yeah, poor first lap for Mendel. He will need to find some pace to be up in the mix with these guys. Raven is on a flying lap as well, but yellow flags. That'll be lap traffic. Get a track map up of Belgium because I've forgotten the chemistry. That's what this is. Through Pouhon there, still no other drivers with a lap. We head through Piff Paff chicane. Beautiful stuff, using all the track limits on exit there, Raven. Death Mage has gone P6, demoted to P7. It's glorious, then goes P5, gets overtaken by Hughes. Incredibly close timings. Here, just 5 tenths separating the top 6 so far. Raven looking to get himself in that clump of names up there. He will hope it's first as a banker, but a banker lap doesn't really count too much. There we go, 3 tenths off the pace around a track this long. That is next to nothing. Slipstream makes up for about that much normally when you're within a car length. So right now, qualifying, hunting up. Skippy goes P10, overtaken by Andreas. Jesus, it's been a while since I've said that name. Hawash goes P8, overtaken by Jackie, who goes P5. Everything kicking off here in qualifying for the first round of laps. Yet to set a time, Matty in not the Mercedes, the AlphaTauri, and Hammer in the Mercedes. I'm so used to seeing Matty in a Mercedes. That was where he'd been for all of my time commentating. Skippy retires. He's had a crash at Les Combes. Whereabouts is that? Let's find a car near it. Let's have a look here. It's despawned, but it seems to have been a nasty crash on the exit. This car quickly recovered. And down the super sub. Indeed, indeed. As you can tell, I know very little about this division. I've been focusing all my attention on making sure that I can put on the best show possible in Div 1. Because there's only so much I can do. The drivers tend to put on most of the show. As I love to mention every now and then, just to make it clear. That's why this league's so incredible. We've got a field, such a widespread field of drivers. Which is a shame why realistic cars didn't work how they were back in like 2019, where there were like Williams, you know. You stuck a Kusky or George in a Williams up against, you know, a Matty in a Mercedes. You'd have a fight on your hands, but it is what it is. Ah, yes. Mr. Pickle, who nearly finished in the points. Yes. Did you get a penalty in the end for that abomination of a move attempt? Well, actually, I think you just broke a little bit late. But did you get a penalty for that in the end, or was it all safe with the geezer you hit? Edvir starting a lap. Let's have a look here at the Williams. See what he can do. Yeah, Kusky and Pickle need invites, you know. That is incredibly good sportsmanship. What an absolute G. It was a joke. It was a joke. Just to clarify, person whose username I still don't know. Yeesh. Did ruin the race, but the pace was there. Yellow flag for Williams, I want to say. Edvir on a flyer. Lovely interpoint. Incredible confidence in the front end there. It just stuck for him. Yeah, he's a clean racer through and through. He's one of those who, not to sound corny and cheesy, as Edvir, purple 4 temps up. This could be the lap for the Williams man that puts him into provisional pole position. We'll put him in a very, very nice position come the final round of flying laps, obviously. Will Buxton moment. The moment who starts first has the best chance of finishing first, because they start first. Yes. Pole! Provisionally for Edvir. An incredible lap there. That Williams was on fire there. But yeah, not to sound corny as I was saying, but Intronsic is one of those who you feel it's a pleasure to race with him, because he is just so damn clear. He's incredibly clean and makes for a joy to fight with. 35, saving a set of tyres, it would seem. Bold. Piastri is also on a fly. He himself a 10th.5 up. But it all stems to the bus stop chicane. Technically is no longer a chicane and is the bus stop hairpin weird corner thing. But we call it the bus stop chicane. And Piastri propels himself outside of it and goes P2. Promotes himself up above A5. A 10th.5 of pole though. It's about to get spicy. We've got lots of cars on flying laps up and down the grid. Look at that for a camera shot. Wow. Rogue Nico, one of them, yet to set a lap. He's just got in the session. Invalid already. He's going to have to go again then. Hammer also on an invalid flyer, dives into the pit lane. He will look to get another set of tyres on and go again. Andreas invalid, Deathmage invalid, Mendel invalid. Raven is not invalid, he's half a 10th up through the first sector. He will head now towards Fania chicane, or as the OGs call it, Piff Paff. Beautiful through there, glided that McLaren. On the knife edge, McLaren's so used to driving on. He went purple in the middle sector again. This is a strong lap from Raven, looking to put himself further up the grid. He'll have his eyes with the lap time on his dash. He will have his eyes firmly set on the top three. He can string together a nice last sector, a little wide off the apex of bus stop. Loses the back end slightly, blasts towards the line and goes provisional pole. A mighty middle sector from Raven. The last sector to boot, despite missing the apex, still goes top, and that shows you the strength of Raven and his raw pace. You have to say, once he gains a small bit more consistency, he is going to be one to deal with. He's going to be a difficult driver to race. Reports that Jackie's running 0-0. Ooh. That could work, I suppose, but that was sort of a last game thing, and I didn't like doing it. It was first time I raced Raven, I thought he was an absolute god because it was around this track and he had 0-0 wings on F122, and he was gone. An esports setup on, and he was still dipping down the straights, and man must have been on it because he was carrying the speed through the corners. But 0-0 setup, when put together right on last game, was just, yeah. Granted, I'm not very good with esports setups. They're too knife edgy for me. That's invalid for Hughes as well. Look at that raft of cars on outlaps. It's about to heat up here. I'm going to put on a good song then. Alright, so as it stands, Raven on provisional pole, 1.5 minutes left. He won't get out for another lap time, he will know that. So he's now a spectator, just like the rest of us. There's the controller again. Ooh, shoot. The batteries are dead. This is not ideal. Luckily, I have a second set spare. Alright, so, yeah, we have a raft of cars going to be doing there. Oh, Nico's got a collision penalty. What's gone on here? The car scampering on the inside of the track there. Who is it? It's Nico on the inside. What on earth has happened there? Nico just staying out the way. Must have had an absolute stinker. He's got a penalty for a collision, I believe, with his teammate, I want to say. But we have people on the laps all over the grid here then. Edvir, yet again, 2 tenths in the first sector up on Raven's time. This is an incredible lap from the Williams. He won't be the first to set a lap though. There's a Haas coming to line. What will it be for Hughes? No improvement. P9 at the best. But there are plenty of cars behind on flying laps. A Mercedes now we can see rounding the bus stop. It's flying through Puon goes Edvir. He was nearly 2 tenths up in the first sector. And if he can hold it together through Fanya, you have a feeling that this is going to be an absolute stonker of a lap. Sorry, not stinkers. Fig goes provisional pole. Now Edvir must respond. Only a tenth and a half up. It's enough to sneak pole just about, but he has to hold it together through the bus stop chicane. There are people to line left, right and centre. Tomboy's gone P5. Of course, Fig P1, Hammer P15. Unable to improve on that time. Rounding the final corner, a Williams and a Mercedes to the line. P10 for Glorious. P11 Mendel. Here we go. Can Edvir do it? No! He lost out a tenth and a half in that final sector. And so unless Piastri can string together something magical, as A5 goes P2. Just hundredths of pole. Piastri P4. Jackie to the line. Goes. Where was it? P8. So after the absolute chaos at the end of qualifying there, there's one man on top, and it's a surprise fixture. Fig, P1, out of nowhere, from being mid-pack throughout qualifying. Raven lost 2 tenths in the last corner. Christ. That is information that if Fig is watching the race, he will be fearing that, because that means Raven would have been pole. Fig on pole. A5 though, last time out's winner, saying this wasn't his track. Well, the timing sheet begs to differ. He's P2, Raven P3, with 2 tenths, he says, that he lost in the bus stop. Piastri P4, Edvir P5, Tomboy P6, Hawash P7, Jackie P8, Hughes P9, and Glorious Striker rounding out the top 10. Haha, Piccolo in chat. Oh, there we go. It wouldn't be Spa. It wouldn't be Belgium without some rain. Is it Inter? Yeah, it looks Inter. Stuart in chat as well saying someone's setup is going to be poo. Directly quoting. No censorship here. I've been told I'm allowed to swear, so we do. Yeah. Jackie in P8 possibly. Oh, God, that's really badly timed. Possibly running 0-0 wings or lower wings. Can he hold the car on the road? It's not can he hold it together in terms of position. It's can he keep the car in the black stuff between the white lines facing forward. And tell you for a fact, 0-0 wings in the wet is a no. Someone in an open lobby forgot to check the weather and the short qualifying. Yeah. Not ideal. Turn my radiator off because things are hotting up. Literally. So we wait for things to get going. Sorry about that, just changing the old music. Alright. So we wait for the green light here. What is everyone up and down the grid's predictions for this one? I'm going to say one. That's not a position prediction, but it's a bold one. Raven P1. Oh, I wonder who typed that in chat. Liking the confidence though. Fig DNF, Raven DNF. Ouch. You know, I can back that. I can back that. But yeah, my prediction, 3 cars out at turn 1 and allow 1 safety car. So we'll see how my prediction goes by the second corner. Pickle being sassy in chat, yeah. Apologies for the yawning. This is a real Div 2 throwback moment. Just the yawning because I'm so damn tired. It gets exciting. It's not left. Down now. Right there, but his teammate at the top of the field right now, holding out stern. We've got side-by-side action further back between Jack and Edveer now. Piastri looking to get involved with it with his teammate Hawash just behind in the wheel tracks. Gets a snap of oversteer now, and the Mercedes looking to pounce behind, but again, he's got yet another car in this train. They're all over the place here. There's contact there between the Alpine of Hawash, but somehow Glorious manages to get it through, and Edveer moves up a place as well. Hawash has had an absolute stinker there. He's gone from P6 to P10 in a matter of a corner, and that just shows how easy it is for these conditions to catch you out. Well held there from Hawash and Jackie, and Piastri now side by side through the Fania chicane. Who will come out on top of this fight? They're still side by side. Incredible stuff here. The rain does not hold these guys back. They were still side by side entering campus and Staff. Further down, we are going to have an absolute Blanchimont battle here. The Williams are side by side through Blanchimont. Further back, any other car side by side? Yes, there's a car for the Road of Hammer now side by side with Matty, his old teammate. That's all good. Yellow flags further up. We've got Tomboy round. We've got side by side here between Matty and Hughes. Tomboy has managed to recover it, but has moved all the way down to P9. He's now side by side with Death Mage.
for that final points paying position, who looks to hold it around the outside, runs off road, out of road in the process, and will rejoin side by side with Hammer heading down towards Radion. Further up in the distance, Rouge, sorry, and Radion, further up in the distance we can see Mendel and Glorious looking to go at it. Piastri getting overtaken by Jackie with his incredible straight line speed. The Alfa Romeo takes the P4. Piastri will now look to respond as they head towards still side by side, and Piastri slides back down the inside, retaking it, but the straight line speed of that Alfa Romeo is undeniably the strongest on the grid. You have to say, no fighting further back. I think everything is calming down a little bit so I can finally get the graphics on. That was an incredible first lap and a half. Continue. Things are settling a little bit now, and as everyone picks their groove, picks their line, and tries to drive it to the fullest. Incredibly close here at the top with Raven as well. Dog. There's yellow flags further back. There's a spinner. That'll be Edvir, sorry, has gone round. Raven sets the fastest lap of the race in his attempts to close back to the front of the pack. Fighting still incredible further down. I'll keep the quick zoom in the midst of that fight, just so that we can see what's going on there. See Ravens drop back a little bit there, but A5 holding with the leaders. I'm not sure what the weather's going to do here, but that I believe will be the defining factor in this race as to who takes it. Hey, that's mean, Pickle. We might have a good race, okay? As Tomboy and Hawash go side by side. Tomboy looking to retake P8, but Hawash not letting it go easy. The Alpine tries to stick it back down the inside as we head towards Malmedy. It's Tomboy up into P8, looking to recover after the mistake earlier on. Next on in his sights is Mendel, the super sub for Red Bull, just trying to cut himself a nice little groove to run around here. When you've blunting the old knife with a lack of practice, that is incredibly difficult, especially around this Spa in the wet. Curbs are deadly. The track is literally deadly. Sorry, all sorts of spanners into the works as Hammer looking to get involved in the fight with Death Mage. He's getting a lot of understeer there, and he's gone off, and Hughes pounces and takes P11. Hammer is out of the session. What on earth happened there? VSC deployed. Will anyone look to pit? No need to pit, really. What on earth happened there? Drives up towards the end. Thank you, Ted. 2 secs, Ted. Death Mage is in the pits. Sorry, I had to chuck it in there somewhere. Tusky being a real one, giving us the weather. Does dry up towards the end. That's another set of inters for Death Mage, and not a new for a week. After 4 laps in the race, he's decided to put on a fresh set of tyres. Why not? A couple laps fresher. And we are still under VSC after all. I'm looking to see if there's any close bits on track. And here we go. Drive through for Jackie. That's going to spice up the race. There's more than one, I believe. Matty received one. Nico gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. And retires in the pit lane then. Matty also has a drive through. Goes the controller again. Rogue Nico swiftly departs the session after that stinker of a start. for the AlphaTauri. Hard pill to swallow, but he will be back next week to try it all again. I believe all the tracks are synced this season, so we're going to the same track for each division. If that's the case, I think we should do a vote at the end of the put it in maybe suggestions, a vote at the end of every string of races, just to show which one's best. Look at this, the gap. Oh, we've got drives into the pits because that is no more rain already. Lap 5, things drying up, and we've got Piastri, Jackie into service drive-through, and Matty into service drive-through. So Piastri pounces and has decided to pit and put the medium compounded tyre on. Now things are going to get interesting. Can he keep it on the black stuff? Very, very clean through Eau Rouge Raidillon. Right, you'll see here, Jackie just blast past on the straight. These two have been fighting incredibly close all race long, but we've got to keep an eye on the gap between these two, see which tyre is the best. Done the gap to the leaders as well. Andreas side by side with Death Mage. Contact there, and Death Mage has to take avoiding action. Mendel has been passed by Hawash, but he's looking to get involved yet again in this fight. Will he slip it back down the inside? No, he doesn't. DRS enabled. Now, has Piastri made the ultimate gamble here? And will he jump the leaders? Fig has pulled out a 2-second gap at the front. He is doing all he needs to do to take home this win. He's dug into the pits. So's a 5. Raven. Everyone surely will streak into the pits now. That's wide on entry for Tomboy, but he's into the pits. Hawash. We are going to have everyone into the pits. That's huge. Opting to stay out. Maybe waiting for a possible safety car. If Jackie's made a mistake, he's going to enter the pit lane as well. So, Piastri, where does he come out? On the net. Ferrari of Fig, well clear. That's a snap on exit for Raven, well held. But he's not lost out to Piastri. But here comes Piastri, side by side now. Through Eau Rouge, takes the position on Raven in the net. Piastri has made a strategic gamble that has paid off because he will also have better tyre temperature as well here. And that will aid him in his attempt to close down on the provisional P2 man of A5. Fig definitely going to the end. He's put the hard tyre on, so he's going to be sliding and struggling here. Hughes and Skippy, both passes have opted to stay out. Matty's opted for the hards as well. Andreas, Hughes and Skippy opting to stay out. And I don't think it's working out for them. They are keeping up with the leaders, to be fair to them. But you can see the track now drying up. There's only one decision that they can really make here, as we see A5 getting really, really close to Skippy. Doesn't want to go for it through Blanchimont. Early in the season, pressure of a title fight, you do not want to make a mistake. If he slings it down the inside here, it'll be in the bad, but that's a big, big mistake from Piastri. Holds it on the road. Oh, but it looks like the Haas wanted into the pits and was not allowed to there by the bump received from Piastri, who does set the fastest lap in doing so, but it's now side by side with Raven as we head into La Source. Raven retakes it, and in all the chaos, The Alpine, possibly with front wing damage, position down. So the strategic gamble and the time gained from that, lost out. And he's bumped that Haas into a horrific position of having to be on wets on a dry track. Them tyres are going to be screaming for help as Piastri looks to retake the position on Raven. Absolutely horrendous broadcast cameras when I switch from there, but we just about see Piastri move up into P3 on the provisional. As Mendel and Hughes further down fighting as well. They've got Hawash just ahead of them in this fight. Glorious. Raven and Piastri will stay spicy. It's A5 as well here. Will have the pace on Fig throughout the earlier part of this stint. A lot of rips in the chat for Skippy, who has been forced to drive this lap on the green wall tyre that will be doing nothing short of screaming at him. The graining will be real. All you can do is feel bad because it's ruined his race here. I'm sure he will be fuming about that. Into the pits he comes, but not after a loss of 6 seconds to where he was the lap before. As Hughes, Mendel and Hawash fighting it out here for the final or the lower points positions. Skippy into the pits then. Look at the time loss compared to his teammate. It is absolutely horrendous. His teammate was a car length ahead of him, and now he's going to be the gap from the F1 paddock to the support paddock. You hate to see it, but you love to see this. 3 cars down the Kemmel Straight, heading towards, oh my gosh, we're going to go 3 wide heading into Lake Holm. Who comes out on top? Mendel looks to have it. Hawash is still side by side now, but with the wrong car side by side with Hughes. Now through Malmedy as towards Ravage we go. Down the inside goes Hughes. He looks to pounce on the fight between the Red Bull and the Alpine and does just that. Hughes up to P8. But I don't think this fight is quite over yet. Hughes still in there. But unable to do anything on this occasion. He's losing a little bit of time there. Mendel establishing a small gap here. On his way to get vital points here. Ravens repass Piastri and starting to gap here. As the leaders, they might look close on the minimap, but there's still about a 1.5 second gap between all of them as Fig goes fastest. Raven goes faster. The leaders are starting to close in on each other. And you have a feeling for these last 13 laps, things are going to get very spicy. So I was right about Hughes sticking with Mendel before I wrote it off. Because he's right on the back of Mendel here. An incredible exit out of La Source is all you need and you are in it. That he is. He's right up on the back of Mendel as we start the Kemmel Straight. Before the right kinks even happen, he's pulled out to the left-hand side. DRS active. Hawash will look to get involved in this. He's in the slipstream of one car past, looking to get past the other down the inside. It's a clinical, it's a clean, it's a silky smooth move from Hawash. But Hughes tries to fight it back around the outside of Malmedy, unable to do so. What incredible race car from Hawash there. Hung back all lap long and he's now up into P7, but he's got a Haas sniffing at his gearbox. Mendel gets a time penalty as well. Death Mage with a penalty already. Hughes gets a penalty. So here we go then towards pit path. Oh my word, that was incredibly close there. Nothing separating both of the cars. Literally nothing. But Raven here, look at the pace from Raven. He's already closed up to the back of A5. And you have a feeling charge is possible here for Raven. He was looking to the inside there. Blanchimont unable to do so, doesn't string together and move into the bus stop, but has a look at it. Feels the Alpine's mirrors with white. And here we go to the inside. Tactical game here played by Hawash. Hughes saying, I know what you're doing, gives him a little bump. As this may get a little bit messy as we head towards a Rouge. No, all good there. You can see Hawash really didn't want to be in the lead, and that's why he backs off at the top of the hill. And Mendel is out of the race. A big, big crash for the Red Bull driver. He stacked it before he's even got past Rouge. That must have been a horrific loss of traction. No safety car, which is why, in my opinion, Reduce ain't it, because that really should be a safety car. I feel like at tracks we know it's going to be cleaner, like a Spa. But yeah, Spa isn't really a clean one, but it's one that HRA tends to run pretty clean round. It should be on standard because safety cars are near impossible on Reduced, even in a multiplayer. But yeah, so 7 to the Super Zone. He was running incredibly well. Commiseration to Mendel, but also props on that drive. It was pretty clinical up till then. But unfortunately, the barriers at the top of the hill at Radion are not exactly a place you want to park an F1 car. Just ask Lando Norris. It's the fastest lap. Close in on Tomboy, build a gap to Hawash. And Buffett, so that penalty doesn't hurt him. Raven is steadily, bit by bit, closing on A5. These two really want to work together here. To try close in on the Ferrari, because the pace of Fig around this track has been incredible. Hawash is now fighting with Jack. Deathmate gets another time penalty. Edveer now passing Skippy down towards Lecombe. Clean move from the Williams, no response from the Haas. He's just looking to recover after a horrendous period of being stuck out, and he's now about 15 seconds behind his teammate, if not more, probably near enough 20, when he was 2/10 behind his teammate before the round of pit stops. Now I think Jackie, a fight that's going to be happening, or I think by the looks of this has happened already, because Jackie is gapping the likes of Hawash. Already over a second. Just gonna quickly change my song. Alrighty then. Skippy, Edveer and Andreas currently fighting it out for the final points paying position. Skippy looking to recover after what was a horrific round of pit stops. I keep saying it, but you really got to emphasize how unlucky he got with that bump from Piastri, who I'm pretty sure must have picked up some sort of minor damage there. Lap 12 of 22 we're on now. Fig leads the way, a 5 P2, but he's got Raven all over the back of him. He's cut the gap down 3/10 from where it was the lap before, and it is a matter of time now, but the leader, Fig, taking advantage of the pressure being applied to A5 and steadily eking out that gap. We are one safety car, one botched VSC launch away from this race being neutral again. This is the battle though. All our eyes are on for P2. It's Raven using all of the curb on the inside there. I'm going to bring up the driver's standings just for a refresher. I think Raven got P8 in the last race, yeah. As here he is already all over the gearbox of the Red Bull car. A fight I'm sure we'll see in 2024 in real life, happening on F1 2023 in HRA. Red Bull and McLaren, I'm pretty sure they both settled knowing that P2 is all they can really do, and that is a dangerous mindset to be in because the focus is just P2. The pace does wind back a little bit, and they do have Piastri all over the back of them, but on the contrary to what I was saying, you don't wind the pace down because you're both trying to push to hold the position. But what I meant to say was you get caught up side by side and naturally lose time. That can draw the other cars into the fight. Raven unable to do anything here. Zedvir and Skippy also sitting where they are now, unable to do anything. Andreas holds the final points paying position for now, but still with 9 laps to go. But you can see Edvir is all over the back of Andreas here with a medium tyre to the inside. He goes at Rivage. Is he able to make the move stick? They're still side by side, heading through No Name, looking for the switchback, unable to get it. But look at Skippy here in this fight, all over the back. Skippy will know that Edvir is low on ERS as well. Andreas gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Edvir runs slightly wide in all of this. Incredible fighting from these three for the final point position. Point on the board, no matter where, is good, but that's bad. Edvir drops the rear end on throttle and is round. Keeps it out the barrier by locking all 4 wheels, but that has ruined his shot at points there. And now there were 2 in the fight for P10. So Raven, the only saving grace here for fights on track. Edvir did well to keep that out the barrier, but at the same time, as soon as he got on them brakes, it was just lock all 4 wheels. I have a feeling we'll see a retirement in the pits here. Or will he slap on the soft tyres and go for fastest lap? Edvir is not one who tends to quit. He's going to stick with the mission. Try and hold it out. Poor string of corners there for A5. And Raven all over the back of him, but he doesn't want to get past before the start finish, because that slipstream up the hill and down the entire Camel Straight is massive. So you really want to be the one behind if you're within 5 tenths. But you've got to hold and be within 5 tenths. Into the pits comes Raven. Going for something strange here. Trying to force the others, of course. He will now bolt on the hards because I forgot this is Spa. Most tracks, tyres will go to mediums, will go 20 laps if you really push them, really push them, but not Spa. So this is a factor that I'd forgotten about. And he looks for the undercut on his rival. So he must have an incredible outlap here to be in the mix with A5. And if it's good enough, if Fig pits, he will be in the mix with Fig. But you have a feeling he will stay out and try and live it out to the end here. As Hughes has come out the pits, right on the back of Skippy, his teammate. Him and Jackie pitting has promoted Andreas up to P8, Skippy to P9, but not for long because Hughes all over the back of Skippy here. Fresh mediums compared to old hards as Skippy, incredible teamwork and choreography, dives out the way. Hughes did get out a little bit out of fear, but anyone was there. He looks to close in on Andreas. And I'll sort of be in no man's land. 5 seconds off the next car as into the pits comes Fig. This is a big one. Where does he come out in relation to Raven? Fig on the soft tyre, going to try and make that go 8 laps. That will be an incredible drive if he does. As coming around the source, we're going to go on board with Fig and look behind. See Raven close, but not close enough. Yellow flags further back. Andreas has dropped it at the bus stop. Not sure if he's had assistance or not in losing it. He doesn't seem to have any visual damage. But that has ruined it for Andreas. And joins a long list of people who have been claimed by these minor errors in this race. Bar a track that brings out the best and the worst in drivers. And we're seeing it strike yet again, time after time here. Ed Veer takes advantage of that and is now up to P11 after his spin, but he's 18 seconds off the next best car. So he's really got a hope for some sort of miracle to go up into the points, but miracles have been happening all race. It's good to see Haas doing well, of course synonymous with this league. One of the iconic teams. You've got Ironland Williams, you've got A5 at oh god, Red Bull. He's driving the bloody car. Why didn't I notice? Yeah, A5 now into the pits. So Fig takes to the front. A5 goes onto the soft tyres and will look to close in on Raven, who's just gone fastest. Highway going to be a factor for the leaders, and that may decide the race. A5 will have the pace initially. He'll be rumping up to the back of Raven, so he has to pass him first. Piastri as well might be a threat in this fight. He can see the back of A5 and he's bullying the overtake to try and get near, but he's too low on overtake. Out of battery, heading down the main straight, or down the Camel Straight, sorry. Yeah, you've got Ironland at Williams, you've got A5 at Red Bull, you've got Toto at Mercedes, and of course Holt was the Haas team principal as well, so a well-respected team, and good to see them doing well. Yellow flags. Looks like Ed Veer's had a bit of an incident somewhere in there, or Andreas. Not really sure, to be honest. As Piastri is doing all he can here to try and keep up with A5, but he's doing a good job of running his DRS down, that's for sure. 1.3 off He is closing. There's real fights on track, so we'll stick with this one. See where it takes us. Absolute dog camera angle game. Come on. Yellow flags. Death Mage has dropped it, and we have a full course safety car. Now, this is where it gets spicy. Death Mage is the Latifi card. No offense, Death Mage, but every now and then, when there's an error in there for any driver, as a matter of fact, spices the race up, and a full safety car deployed for a car that was spun and could get driving again when someone died at the top of Eau Rouge. Probably not the right wording for this track, but when someone had a bad wreck at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion, no safety car. Now what does everyone do? Because surely all the medium runners box for softs. This has just made this race exciting all over again. Although I might not sound too excited, because I'll be honest, I am actively keeping my eyes right open right now. Your boy tired, but we got 8 laps to survive. 8 laps, oh my goodness me. 4 laps to survive. Soon to be 3. If I start snoring, someone wake me up, please. This is going to be tense, says Kusky. Indeed. A win at stake because of this safety car. I'm putting the Brazilian funk playlist on for this. Alrighty. We're going to have just laps of racing here. Piastri has opted to stay out. Fig has lost out in the pits. Crucially, Fig loses the lead in the pit stop phases then. The Ferrari man only P3 when he was P1 at the start of this all. He's lost out to Piastri. Oh, they've stayed out. Oh, right. A5 and Piastri gambled staying out. They've got nearly new soft tyres on there. That's why Fig's lost out. My tired ass really needs to wake up. So then, on aging soft tyres, that will fall off their peak lap times after about 2.5, 3 laps around a track like this. They're going to have about 2.5, 3 laps to do this as Death Mage retires on pit entry. We don't have a clue when it will get going. Piastri was right on the pace of A5, so I don't think that XFR Piastri is going to want to sit behind here. A5 will want and need Piastri to act as a wall. But I have a feeling that is not what Piastri is going to play. Because Piastri will know about that and will have to respond with out and out aggression. So, fair warning, a lap before we go green, this is going to get messy. Because realistically, we have about 5 to 6 cars in the fight for the win here. Because the outsiders of Tomboy and Glorious have chances as well. Raven has been on the pace all race, keeping pace with Fig. We have just minutes to wait before we find out what's going to happen here. But on aging tyres, the storyline is, can A5 and Piastri work together and hold the current 1-2 that they sit in? Or will they start squabbling and let the Ferrari and the McLaren snake their noses in and rip the floor out from underneath them? In a couple sectors time, we'll find out. The Aston Martin safety car leads us around. We will not get DRS. This is going to be pure ERS management. Who goes all out at the start of the safety car and burns their ERS on lap 1? Because I had to play these cards at Mexico and Realistic a couple seasons ago. It's a safety car restart late on. Do you save your ERS for later on? Or do you go all out from the bat? Hope and pray it's enough. I know A5 is going to bolt and rely on a good safety car restart. I've not really seen him do restarts before, because he's been up there as a decent front-running driver for a couple seasons now, but he's not really hooked it up together like he would want. Say, even on what he calls one of his worst tracks, pace like this shows that he is nearly ready. And we are nearly ready here to go green. We are going to have just 2 laps of racing here in Division 2. Who will take round 2? Will we have a repeat winner for the first 2 rounds of the race for the season? Or will it be a new name in Season 9? Stick around for the next couple of laps and find out. As we wait for A5 to get the field going again. All rides down to this safety car restart. When does he go? Does he go early? Does he go late? I think he's really taking his time here. Is he going to go in the usual spot? Yes, he is. He has gone, and Piastri sticks with him out the final corner then as we blast towards La Source, looking in the background if there's any sends up and down the grid. It looks to be as it was now as we head down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Fig slightly off the battle, but he will have incredible pace on them tyres. They will be off their perfect peak, but they will still have incredible grip. But here comes Piastri down the Kemmel Straight. Will he have enough to take the lead? Doesn't quite. A5 holds him off, but look at the ERS, already 20% worse off. A5 needs to save this here. He will know he won't get DRS, but he must play this strategically. He has 1 lap pressure tyres, and with a soft tyre around a lap as long as this, that will make a tangible difference to how he plays this. Raven is up the inside of Fig, who is fading here at the safety car restart, unable to hook it together when he needs to. So did he take the wrong move there by pitting? Because Raven's moved up to P3 and looks to close in. Look at how much he's closing through pit path. You can see the cars ahead, just not the same amount of grip. And Raven is dragging Fig back into this fight here. Fig, who had the race on lock for the full distance, is now just a spectator in all of this, unless something else goes on at the front. I said there'd be aggression. I said it would be messy. So it was for the top 2. Raven up to P3, already 7 tenths off. He's closed. He's half the gap. Now 5 tenths, 6 tenths. Raven sets the fastest lap in an attempt to close down and take a win. He's got 2 cars to pass, but only 1 lap to do it. But he's got 2 humongous straights on his way to it. And the possibility of Piastri and A5 having some kind of incident here. Piastri is faded. He's gone wide at the top of the hill and got a 3-second time penalty. Raven is on for second place here in Division 2. If he holds it together, if he fends off Big, who has been mighty all night long and will not let this slip. He'll be thinking, I cannot slide into P4 after pole, after fastest lap after fastest lap, and dominating all race long. But he will look further ahead and see the raw pace of Raven. Yellow flags further back. There's the mess I was talking about. Envy around. Andreas' round as well in there. Couple tussles as Raven is chucking it at the track now in an attempt to get past Piastri. He knows he must be on the gearbox of A5 before the run down towards Blancheman, or it's all over. He looks to the inside of Piastri. He's unable to do it here. He'll look for the slingshot here. This is not over yet by any means as we head down the final straight here towards Blancheman. They're both red light flashing ahead. He is in the seat, but he's out of fuel. Raven's run out of fuel on the run down towards the bus stop chicane. Drama for Raven. He was P3, provisional P2. He slipped out, so that leaves A5 scot-free to the checker flag. Back-to-back wins for the Red Bull man. Christian Horner is on the top step of the podium. Fig recovers P2. Tomboy gets P3 at the last with Piastri's time penalty. But that is heartbreak for a Raven who was on for the win then. If he didn't run out of fuel, it was his to take, as Piastri does not even finish. Believe that may be a timing glitch, but wow, what an incredible end to this race. And out of all of it, at a track that he scoffed at me in the chat and said was his worst and that he weren't going to enjoy it, I told him have a little faith and sent a TikTok of someone spinning out at Spa actually. But he had faith. He had momentum is what I said. And that momentum has propelled that Red Bull into a stratospheric lead in the Drivers' Championship. After just 2 rounds, he leads by at least double figures. And you have to say, from what I've seen today and from what you all saw last week at Australia, this man is inevitable. Question is, who can stop him? Who will stop him? That's a next week thing. But for now, it is him who is on the top step yet again. Back-to-back wins in Division 2 for A5. Fig, it was an incredibly drove race all night long. He was on fire, but unable to convert the pole into the win. He just got beat out strategically at the end there. But he will be happy to come away with a points haul out of that. Tomboy as well, P6 to P3. A shock podium for him. Jackie as well up 4 places. Glorious up 4 places. Hughes up 4 places. Skippy, after the horrific pit stop incident, up from 15th to 8th. We've got Matty up from 16th to 9th. Hawash dropped down as well, but Andreas nearly snuck a point at the end there. What an absolute weldy of a finish to the race. It was just starting to tail off towards the end there, but that safety car that Deathmage caused really brought that race back into contention. I say half a lap, another lap, my voice would have been gone. But wow, what an incredible finish. But after all of it, it's back-to-back wins for the Red Bull team boss. And yet again, as I leave it at the end of the stream, who can stop him? I'll find out next week for Division 2, Round 3. But till then, I will see you Friday. I've been Apollo. This has been HRA Division 2. And yeah, see you when we see you. Peace.